ready for another lesson?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Schwartz, and this week's episode we'll be reviewing Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. But, of course, before we get to any of that, I'm joined today by 94 Nathaniel Gingrich.
What up, folks? I'm 94 Nathaniel.
Your favorite year, I've heard.
Yeah, I was 2.
Yeah, a great year for you.
Yeah, I was.
Didn't have much to do, crawling around. Maybe you walked that year?
Probably, I would assume so.
Yeah, around that age. Pretty good year overall, yeah.
One of my faves.
What else happened 94? Bill Clinton? No, that was 92. No, 96? What year did he get elected?
90.
If it was a 2000 election for Bush,
Couldn't tell you.
it would have been 92 presidential election. So, yeah, we were in the middle of someone's term.
It's true.
I
Can't
don't
remember. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Who cares? I don't. Movie time, folks. That's what we're here for. And in this week, the movie set in 94,
It is.
supposedly.
I'll give you a high five if you can name any movie released in 1994.
I'm pretty sure Jurassic Park was 94.
I thought
was
it was
gonna
94.
say.
Was it 94? I thought it was Jurassic Park.
And I think Forrest Gump and
93. I was going to say, I thought it was 93.
All right, then like Forrest Gump and Pulp Fiction were out around the same time as well, too. Maybe.
Yeah, Pulp
Forrest
Fiction
Gump.
sounds right.
Forrest Gump is 94.
Maybe Pulp Fiction, maybe
Pulp
95,
Fiction also,
but yeah, it sounds right.
also 94. So I'll
Yep.
give you half a high five when we're not, further than arm's length from each other.
Fucking Page Master was 94.
There you go.
God damn it, Nathaniel. How'd you not think of that one?
My B, folks. My B. Sorry, I went Jurassic Park before Page Master. I'll never make that mistake again.
Also joining us today, correcting Nathaniel, is Transformer Tyler Vidalis.
What's going on?
Pretty.
That's me transforming.
Who is? Where'd that
It's pretty
come
close.
That was good. Man.
Thanks, man.
That was good. Did you work on the originals?
Parts.
Okay. They had you come in and sub out when the other ones couldn't. Were you like?
No, actually, the shittier the audio quality was, the better it is for Transformer sounds. So I actually just send it like via
Gotcha.
phone microphone.
Gotcha. Do you record it in like a very like big, large area? So there's a hella echo and everything.
Yep.
All right, smart.
When I used to work AP at the store, one of the sliding doors used to like grind on its track, and it sounded very much like a Transformer.
Really?
Like the original Transformer noise, yeah.
I don't remember that door making that noise, but that's hilarious. Easy name for Ty this week. Really wasn't any other to go with,
Here.
Here. Ty, what's your favorite Transformer?
Of all time?
Yeah, you're somewhat of a Transformers fan, yeah?
Man.
Am I misremembering
Yeah, I like
this?
Transformers.
Okay.
I would probably have to go with. Man, it's probably as ironic as this is, just because, right, coincidental, I guess, because this is a Beast Wars movie. It's probably going to be either Rat Trap or Cheetor from
Rat
Beast
Trap
Wars,
or
just because like that was like the animated stuff. The cartoon was like peak childhood Transformers for me.
I'm looking this up.
That's what Waz was saying as well, too, after he saw this movie with us
Rat
over the
Trap.
weekend.
Okay.
Rat Trap is a big old rat.
I'm seeing it.
He
now.
is, and on the second iteration of him, he has wheels.
Like the Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet.
Kinda. It's not front and back. He's
Okay.
got like 2 really big wheels on his butt.
I see. I
Almost
see
more
now.
like an armadillo with wheels.
I'm looking. Is that right?
Seems like it,
All right,
yeah. I was
cool.
not a
And then-
Transformers kid.
Yeah.
Cheetor's gun, you can always see like his intestines in it, which
Is
I always thought was really cool.
Cheetor is in this one, yeah? That's
Yeah.
Cheetor? Okay. Hard to catch the names in these without subtitles. They're always so funky, What did he say? Cheetor, Cheetah, Cheeto? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
Well, it's not like they got really
Cheetor.
too away from the mark there,
That's
is
true.
it?
That's true. That one, yeah. I would say for some of the other movies, that's more true than this one.
It'll just be a random car.
Optimus Primal isn't too far away.
Yeah, they'll
from
just be
something I can't understand.
just some car, and it'll just be Devastator.
Yeah.
You're like, what does that have to do with it?
Exactly.
It's a giant cheetah, and it's cgone Cheetor.
I get that one.
It's a little bit closer to the
can,
bone.
I can bridge that gap.
Yeah, Beast Wars was very just on the head with it, you know. Except for like some of them, like there's like the eagle's name is Air Razor, like that.
Yeah, right. They always get weird.
Isn't there a
Ape
jet
Link?
stream? Is that one? That sounds like I feel like that's one, but
It's
I
gotta
could be
be
wrong.
one.
And then what's the airplane guy in the first one called? Because I don't think that's Jetstream.
Starscream.
Yeah, that's you know what I think that's what I'm thinking of. That's a dope name.
It's true.
Yeah. Rounding out the squadron, of course, is Big Bumblebee BlakeHolder.
Hey, what up? What up?
Kind of got the quadruple alliteration going on there if you count the,
Yeah,
the
I
B
like it.
within Bumblebee. You big fan of the bees? I know
Not
you're
the
big.
bees!
The bees.
So when we say bees, I mean, what are we talking? Are we talking?
I
like
mean, we
insects?
we
Are we talking
listeners
letter
listeners
B?
of the
Are we
pod
talking-
know you're a big cat guy, big cat Blake,
Okay.
of course, and not a big spider guy. So where do we
No.
land on bees then?
Not too fond of them, but I mean, I'm not terrified of them. For example, like if I see a bee, and I'm just
Right.
kind of like, I'll, as we said the other day, I'll let them cook. Like
Yeah,
not too many concerns there. However, definitely one of the downsides of the summer that you always quietly forget until it happens, and you just happen to be like outdoors for like a
Mm.
barbecue or something like
Mm.
that, and you got like some type of fruit or
Right.
something sweet, and then it's just like you're being swarmed by bees, or it's always like on your plate or something. It's
Sure,
fucking annoying for sure.
that is annoying. Definitely, bees, flies, both of them that come for the food.
Absolutely.
Most
Bees are lit.
annoying summer bug, of course, is the mosquito. I think that's pretty unanimous.
Oh yeah, S tier.
Yeah,
S tier
S
annoying
tier,
bug,
S tier
by
shit
far.
bug. Yeah, S tier crap bug.
Do they even do anything like positive for the community and the environment ecosystem?
I've heard people say no. I have a hard time believing that's true. Like they've got to contribute something, right? But
For sure, right?
But
Logically, it would have to.
I've heard from a couple people that they've done research, and if we eradicated mosquitoes, nothing would happen. Which I don't know.
Maybe they're like food source.
They got to
for-
be right for spiders or other animals,
Sure,
other
yeah.
birds or
Frogs,
something.
yeah.
Frogs, yeah, they got to be a food
because
source.
they live around ponds.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would imagine
that's
got to
be their
source.
biggest thing. I mean, that's how the ecosystem kind of works. Is everyone's got their
For
predator
sure.
and their prey and
They're certainly one of the ones that
food.
makes it a bit rougher.
Yeah,
Bottom of the food chain, but top of the annoyance chain for humans. It seems like.
100%. Yeah, and they also diseases too. Just beyond being annoying, they also carry disease, and
Yeah, man.
they're just the worst in every way. Get them
for
out.
sure.
Get them out. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you've clicked on this episode title, and if you look in the episode description, you might see a number right there, and it's a nice even round number of 150. Can we get some applause? I was waiting
Oh, sorry,
for
my bad.
thank
my bad.
you.
You want to take another run at it?
Yeah. Listeners, so if you guys clicked on this episode of Press Play, and if you looked in the episode description, you'd see it's a nice even round number of 150. Thank you. Calm down. Yeah, 150 episodes is a lot. Yeah. Whew, thank you for all that. That was very gracious of you guys. Yeah, episode 150, guys. A nice round number.
Yeah, it was one. It's one that kind of snuck up on us. I think.
Oh, 100%.
overall. So sorry if we're a little bit taken aback there, folks, and not as high energy as we would normally be for an anniversary episode
Correct.
or a big number episode. What's 150? Sequicentennial? I believe
sure.
is the thing
You're
for
the you're the linguistics guy.
it.
As I can't even get the word out.
Yeah, so 150. That's
Pretty good.
yeah, it's crazy to think about. Obviously 200 will be the next big stretch goal.
Well,
I
we also have
suppose.
3 years coming up in
Yeah.
a couple weeks. So
3 calendar years.
3 calendar years, which we
Die.
always like to celebrate as well. I believe July 5th is the Back Row anniversary,
just on the horizon.
which that's crazy too. 3 years is a lot too.
Yeah.
That also crept up on us.
This is also true.
Different time we lived in when we started this episode
The
or
blip.
this podcast.
Yeah.
The blip.
The blip. Yeah, we were mid blip. But yeah, 150, man. I mean, give or take. Well, actually, give a few because we have a few bit of sizzle eps and we've got a few other miscellaneous eps. So I think if we include those, it's probably closer to 160 than it is 150. But
True.
regardless, the numbered eps, that's what we're keeping count of here. 150 is a pretty nice milestone to be at.
Feels good,
Yeah, every
folks.
50 eps is a nice little checkpoint. Of course, 200 will be another big one. And then, of course, we like to celebrate the yearly anniversary
Of our birth.
Yeah, of our conception and of our birth as well. So we'll be celebrating
Our
that in a couple
inception.
weeks to probably be doing a little bit bigger of an episode celebration thing, if you will, than 150. But always nice to mark the milestones, you know?
24-hour stream.
I'm there.
Starting now.
I'll request off work. Yeah, we just binge the Transformers movies for 24 hours.
I don't think I would make that. I think my brain would break.
Oh yeah, no, that would be the last episode of Back Row Banter.
That's-
I would lose all will to continue.
Pretty sure that was considered torture in some
I'm pretty
places.
sure that's a plot of the next Saw film. Is there's a Transformers trap.
Bayformers.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, yeah, we'll be celebrating 3 years in a couple weeks here. Towards the beginning of July. For this episode, we're going to do our regular review of Transformers: Rise of the Beast, and then we're going to do a nice, fun little draft afterwards instead of what we're watching. We're going to do a draft which we haven't done in a while. We only did one, which was director's draft, and it was a lot of fun. So we thought for this episode we'd do that to have some even more fun. Yeah, with that being said, thank you all for listening for 150 episodes, give or take. Whether this is your first episode or this is your 150th or your 158 or whatever it actually is. Thank you all for listening. We really do appreciate it. We love doing this, and we wouldn't really have a reason to do it if it weren't people listening. And we're just looking to grow from here on out. We're looking at doing a video pretty soon and expanding on what we're doing as far as distribution goes. So video on YouTube, and I want to get a TikTok started and all that stuff. So we're going to start working on that, and we'll get Back Row 2.0 out to you, hopefully sooner rather than later. With all that being said, let's get into our review here, gentlemen. Nathaniel, can give the listeners here a rundown of how the review segment works.
What up, folks? If you're new, or maybe you've forgotten, or maybe you came in for the first episode and you said you weren't going to come back until episode 150. Well, welcome back. The way the review segment works here on Back Row Banter is it is split into two sections. There's the non-spoiler section, and then there's the spoiler section. It's pretty self-explanatory. And the non-spoiler section will go over the movie itself, who wrote it, who directed it, who starred in it, all that good stuff. We'll go around the squadron. We have to decide if we would recommend this movie. There is no nuance on the internet, so it's got to be a yes or no answer. And then from then on, it'll be spoiler time. I'll play the spoiler noise. If you don't want to have anything spoiled for you, do come back later on, and after we've completed our review, and listen to the rest of the episode. But in the spoiler review itself, we'll go a little bit deeper into the story. Any big twists, plot turns, anything like that. And yeah, Adam. With that being said, tell me about what is this one? Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Correct. This is a new film, rated PG-13, with a runtime of 2 hours and 7 minutes and an IMDb rating of 6.6 out of 10. Directed by Stephen Capel Jr., who we said, what did we say he directed?
Creed 2 was
Creed
his big
2.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Written by Joby Harold, Darnell Mattier, and then Josh Peters. Those are the three writing credits there. The cast includes Anthony Ramos, Dominique Fishback. There's a lot of people here, so I got to kind of
this one was another one of those that was by order of appearance as well too. So it's not
I
the
see.
main cast are definitely Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback.
Correct.
Um,
Who Fishback we had for Judas and Black Messiah
and Project Power.
and Project Power. That's
Yeah.
right. I knew there was two.
And we've
There's
had
another one I'm missing.
Anthony Ramos, maybe.
I don't think so yet.
Was he in that Hamilton? Was he in the Hamilton? Because that's where he came from, right?
He came from Hamilton. That's his big thing.
But he wasn't in the Hamilton we watched that went on Disney Plus, right?
We never reviewed it.
No. Oh, that's right.
We
But
never
was he?
watched it.
Is he in Blind Spotting?
He's in the TV show,
Ah,
but he is not in the movie.
got it.
So I think this is in fact his first appearance on the Entropy list. Which I hope it's not his last. I love him. He's great. He's great in Hamilton. I think he's decent in this. We'll get to that probably in the review part. But yeah, I like him a lot. Let's see. What are the other big names then I have to go through? I can't. I'm gonna have to pick them up.
Well, Frank Welker's back as Optimus Prime.
Of course, yeah. Here, let me go to the all cast and crew because there's just this order of appearance BS is.
Michelle
Ron Perlman, Peter Dinklage, Michelle Yeoh,
Yep, those I would say would be probably
Pete
your biggest.
Davidson.
There we are.
Suck my ass.
Pete,
Um,
Pete Davidson.
but yeah, those are probably the main like 4 voice
Yeah.
actors.
Yeah, that's pretty much most of what you need. All right, we'll leave it there. The IMDb summary reads as follows. During the 90s, a new faction of Transformers, the Maximals, joined the Autobots as allies in the battle for Earth. Yeah, you know what? That's fantastic IMDb summary. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Love it. Fellas, where are we at before we talk about the movie? Where are we all at individually with Transformers? I've seen the first 2 for sure. I think the third, but I've not seen any Transformers movie in about 10 years.
I've seen all of them.
You've seen all of them. Okay.
What is there, 5?
This is
including
the
Bumblebee?
5th, I believe. Yes. Or no, this is the 6th.
I think I've seen
Yes,
them
this is the
all
6th.
except
No, this is the 7th.
the,
Are you sure?
yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so. I believe there's the original 3 with Shia LaBeouf. Then there's the 2 with, is it Mark Wahlberg?
Yep. And then,
And then there's Bumblebee.
And then there's this
I-
one.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I think the only one I've missed is the last one with Mark Wahlberg, which I believe is The Last Night. Could be wrong.
That sounds right.
I
Blake-
think that's the name of the 5th one, right? Last Night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
I'm
the only one I haven't seen.
I'm in the same boat as Blake.
So then, what are we thinking here, guys? Tyler, I'm going to kick it to you because you're, as we already stated, probably the biggest Transformers fan here. You've seen all the movies, so you're probably most qualified to give the most valid opinion on this film. Where are you at?
Yeah, I would say out of the 4 of us, I've probably consumed over the years the most Transformers and
Mhm.
probably the most familiar with it. I'm I'm probably gonna say if you really want to see this, you can probably wait for VOD. I am probably gonna be just right out of the gates, not a recommend for you to rush out and go see this thing. It hurts to say it. I went in relatively blind. I didn't even know Pete Davidson was going to be in this, but as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, fuck.
I'm with you. I didn't know this guy was in it either.
But yeah, you know, it has some very redeeming qualities about it. As I think most Transformers movies do. And I also think that plays a little bit more into the nostalgia factor of things, especially for people that really do appreciate this the Transformers name. But yeah, I'm there's just too many bad things that we can obviously talk about in a few minutes here that I'm probably just gonna say you can probably pass on this one.
So not a recommend.
No, it's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Okay.
Blake, what'd you think?
I think I'm pretty much on par with you. I mean, I guess unless you are a true Transformers fanatic, right? But outside of that, I feel like this franchise has kind of lost some steam. Because they're now rocking on, what's the first one, 07? So they're about 15 years of these.
And I was really hoping that they wouldn't because they've given such a fat gap in between.
For sure. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm not too big on. I mean, that being said, though, like the movie, it's not like horrible. I wouldn't say that, but just as far as like us getting on here preaching like new ideas, new content, right? Original IPs, or if we're gonna go ahead and kind of continue with these like legacy franchises, at least, for example, like Spider-Man, the praise we gave Spider-Man last week. I mean, this is not the type of praise we're going. So yeah, I mean, I can't imagine recommending this to anybody outside of those who are true Transformers fans. So a bulk of the people, I'd say you're okay to pass.
Nathaniel.
I feel like I finally cracked these movies.
Mm.
And I'm gonna set it up to you this way. So this weekend I went to visit a good friend of mine, Nick and Danielle, down in Texas.
Right.
Who just announced they're having a baby. Shout out Nick and Danielle.
Congrats.
Name
it Bumblebee.
Congrats.
Yep. And we went to see The Boogeyman on Friday.
Oh, okay. How was
The
that?
new Stephen
Nice.
King.
How was that, man? That's one that kind of crossed my mind.
Can
But
we
then I
talk
saw
about
it's
that movie?
PG-13. I was like,
Yeah, it's disappointing from a
exactly
horror
what I thought
movie
you'd say, though, to be
standpoint.
honest
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It's a worse smile, to be honest with you. Anyways, and so obviously they're having a kid, and Danielle can't drink, so Nick and I had to do the drinking for the both of us. So I was rolling into this one having a less than great brain, and having
killer bus.
and having just gotten off of a delayed flight from Dallas and rolling in,
Ooh.
and I could not have had a more turned off mind, and I think that's the secret. You just have to just be willing to just maybe bang your head against the wall 4 or 5 times before you go to one of these,
Okay.
and then it'll actually make sense to you.
I turned it off, and I will get to it, but there's just a certain part in this movie where I'm like, yep, I'm out.
So I really didn't hate this. I feel like this is the one that everyone's like taking the criticisms that I had for the Bayformers like out on this guy more and more foremost. Like I feel like if you went from Transformers 2007 and then didn't have the 8 years of crap afterwards, and then you went Bumblebee and then you went this, people would be a lot more kind of like on board with it. But like it's now those the Gen Z kids that have come up that were growing up on Revenge of the Fallen and
That's my gen.
and Dark of the Moon, where it was just
People my age love those movies, by the way.
I know, but it's just mind-numbing chaos for 8 hours on any given thing. Like they've now grown up and reevaluated those movies and are starting to and are going to be like, oh, those are shit.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like they're taking that out on this movie in some ways. And I don't think that this is a good movie by any means. Like it falls to like all of the like problems that are out there in movies nowadays. And like it for me has become just iconic of the IP movie now, where Transformers always existed to sell toys. They have been toys from the beginning. They've always been a brand. If you look at the other major tent poles out there now, it's Marvel, which is a brand, Disney, their brand, DC brand, fucking Barbie brand, Lego movie brand. This is what we're getting now. Bit of sizzle. They're going to attach another brand to this one as well, too. So if these are just the movies we're going to get for brand movies now, at least I know what the like format is at this point, where I stand with it and where I have to intellectually go to like
how to program your brain.
To interact with it at this point now.
Right.
It falls under so many of the things that we've criticized other movies for in terms of just things happen because it is time for them to happen in the movie. Like the hero will make their big choice to, step up, but not through any sort of character growth, but just because we're an hour and a half into the movie and now this is the time where the hero is supposed to step up.
Yeah.
Not because there's been one instigating event or dramatic piece that's been resolved to make them have that choice. So, in terms of like several weeks ago when we were talking about the Mario movie and our criticism was kind of just like, I really thought we were past this at this point. This one just kind of shows that I was fucking wrong at that point. I'm wrong now. But that being said, like, at least I know that now. I feel set free. I've been unburdened by this movie now, to be honest with you.
You've been relinquished of your Transformers chains.
Yes, yeah. It is truly let me go from it at this point. And the animals are cool. So, like, that was all right.
I'll give you that.
They're so much better than those fucking dinosaur designs, and the dinosaurs should have been cooler. Like, 4 movies ago, there was giant robot dinosaurs. I don't know how, but somehow the regular animals are cooler than those ones. So, yeah. I guess I'm not a recommend, but I don't care if you see this movie. Like, I I wish we'd gotten it 8 years ago, so then we could have had a halfway decent franchise.
That's all valid. Listen, boys, I wish I could agree with either party here, but I'm on a whole different train of this might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Really that bad, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
Like-
the way you spun that at first, my man, I was like, is Adam about to go in here saying he's fucking with this heavy? And then sure enough, he's like,
No.
no, I'm on the other side.
I'm
This is
completely
fucking
other
horrible.
side. Like you guys are way more middle of the road than where I'm at on this movie. Tyler said there's some redeeming things here, and there might be for Transformers fans who want to see this stuff or want to see the Beast Wars characters and all that stuff. But to me, a casual watcher of Transformers and casual fan, if you could say it, like I liked them as a kid, and like I said, saw those movies, but I haven't seen them in a while, and didn't have money, and I kept my expectations low for this movie, and I tried to turn my brain off, and even then I'm watching this and I just couldn't believe what it was that I was watching.
No, you need copious amounts of alcohol first.
That was not part of my plan, but maybe it has to be, because I just couldn't believe how bad the movie was, and yeah, there was really, I like I don't mind these kind of films, and I don't mind if they're being made. I kind of a similar vein is the Kong movies or Godzilla movies. Sometimes I just want to see big monsters smacking
monkey.
each other, blowing shit up,
Yeah.
and I can turn my brain off and have fun with it. And those things don't need to make sense. But the redeeming parts of those movies, where the plot may slack, is that it's fun to watch Godzilla fight King Kong. In my opinion, the action in this film was so lackluster, and there was very little to redeem itself in the action, which is what I kind of wanted to just hopefully just turn my brain off and watch. All the parts of that where I wanted to see big robots fighting, it felt like I just didn't get anything worth watching in that regard. There wasn't a lot of fun action, in my opinion, and a lot of the action sequences, it was really awkward editing or cuts in between where characters were at and stuff, where I felt like not that I barely saw robots fighting or anything. There was that, but there was nothing unique or fun or special or cool or anything about the action in this movie. It felt very generic, and I was just very let down on that point, because that really was the only reason, or in my opinion, kind of is the only reason, at least for casual movie watchers, if you're like Ty and love Transformers, there's other reasons to watch these films. But for me, for most people, I think the attraction is cool giant robots smashing into each other, fighting, and all that stuff. And there is that, but none of it is cool enough to redeem the fact that there's nothing else in this movie, and that's a huge disappointment. And when you have a movie that's kind of its selling point is, hey, there's cool giant robots, maybe have some good action with those cool giant robots to redeem yourself a little bit. And to me, I just was not entertained at any point in this film, really, and I couldn't have had lower expectations, and they couldn't have been let down more, to be honest. This is pretty bad in my opinion. Now, am I probably an outlier in this? Is this actually the worst movie ever made? No, but not by any means. But that is how I kind of felt coming out of the theater, was like, man, I wish we chose a different film. So that's where I'm at. Definitely not a recommend, and don't even watch it on VOD. That's where I'm at.
Fair enough.
All right. With all that being said, that's 4 not recommends, correct?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. I'm glad we're all on the same page, at least on that one. All right, so we're gonna go ahead into spoilers for Rise of the Beast. If you've not seen the movie and do not want it spoiled for you, go check that episode description where I've left a timestamp you can jump to, where you'll be taken to the ranking of the movie up upon our Entropy list. Spoilers, I'm Nathaniel.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I can accurately critique this movie. Like, I genuinely don't know if my brain
Correct. Yeah,
was not
there's
functioning.
really not a lot to critique
Yeah,
here.
I hate to just I feel like every so often now when we do new movies, I always end up lumping them just this is just your standard win of the meal popcorn movie. But I really think that's what most of these movies are becoming. Where you're supposed to go there, as Nathaniel said, turn your brain off for 2 hours, right? That's how you're going to end up enjoying this to the highest magnitude, and really sit there, be force fed everything, exposition dumps through random characters, and cool little action scene here or there, maybe a joke here or there, and then somehow a fucking tag into conjointing this into another universe, another cinematic universe. That's it. And I feel like that's just in movies today, and it's fucking unfortunate.
Yeah, it's movies as product rather than movies as art, right? That's kind of where we're going here.
And it's what you said, Nathaniel. In the
Capitalism, man.
Right. It's what you said about Super Mario Bros. How you thought you were past making movies like this at this point. And you know what? With Bumblebee, I heard good reviews. I haven't seen it. But with Bumblebee, I thought that's maybe the page we had turned with Transformers.
True.
And that we would maybe be getting these movies that sell the product while also being just decent movies and works of art, as you were saying. And no, we just kind of regressed back to the mean.
I don't know if I totally agree with that. Like, I think this one has more of the Bumblebee DNA in there than the Bayformers. Like, say what you will about the Bayformers.
So?
Like, the Bayformers have style. At least when when
For
Michael
sure.
Bay wants to
Yeah.
show up and like do his thing,
Yeah.
he can show up and do his thing.
Mhm.
They're a fucking headache because they're 3.5 hours long visually. They may be 2 hours long. Like,
Yeah. Time passes slower watching those movies. Yeah. I know
it takes up more space in your brain because
Yeah.
it's just overloaded. But neither of the directors that have followed have been as much of a stylist as Bay is. But I still think both of those movies, particularly Bumblebee, which is the better of the two, are more functional than either of the Bay movies. Like, I would still rather watch Rise of the Beast than probably any of the Bay movies at this point. Granted, I saw
Even
Rise
over
of the
the
Beast.
first one?
Dude, like, how long has it been since you've seen that movie? Because it's not good.
I guess that's true. I
Like-
haven't seen the first one, and I kid you not, it's got to be north of like 6-7 years.
Yeah, it's one where we even fall into like kind of that thing of like, I saw that movie when I was 10 and it was fucking awesome. Like, you know, there's still cool parts of it, but like, yeah, man, I don't know. I think this movie's getting kicked a little bit more than it should, but I understand why people are feeling that way. I don't think this is necessarily the movie that was on there. Also controversial opinion, I didn't hate Pete Davidson in this. I didn't know he was in it.
I didn't hate him either. And I like Pete Davidson, and I think he did a pretty good job.
I didn't know he was in it until literally he started talking,
Mhm.
and then I was kind of like, oh no. And then like probably a minute or two in, I was like, oh no, he's fine. Like he's good in this. Like, I think he's got a good little back and forth
Yeah.
with Anthony Ramos.
I would agree.
I've seen there's something going on with this movie because multiple people that I've talked to in terms of like Brandon and Joe, like, they don't necessarily like the human parts of it, which I think are weak, but they're not any weaker than any of the other ones have been or anything. But then like, it's like
Sure.
everyone I've talked to hates a different part about this movie. And that's the thing that I just like can't quite
It's
wrap
kind of
my head
impressive.
around
Yeah,
it.
it's kind of impressive.
Dominique Fishback's not given nearly enough to do.
No, she's not. No, she's wasted.
No, she's
very.
just
I don't know.
exposition
I don't know. I really don't know why her character's there. To be honest, I mean, it functions for the whole secret language, alien language thing. Yes, but like she
feels like a character that was written one way, and then they had to like reorganize the third act based off like test screenings or something, and they like completely cut out the culmination of her plot line or something like that. Like it with the whole computer thing at the end, it feels like she was supposed to do something more there, and they were like, "Oh no, we need to cut this for time. Just have Optimus blow it up or something, like shoot it with a gun."
Which we gotta talk about for a second. Did they not say the whole thing will go supernova? Let me repeat that: supernova, like the sun exploding, if they stopped that transformation. And I've seen bigger explosions in, I don't know, John Wick than that explosion was. Like, just stuff like that. And
well,
then,
that's the thing, is that the Earth actually ended at that point. The rest of the movie's pocket dimension.
okay, cool. I must have missed that. Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
it
all
is
about
the super
multiversal timelines, I'm sure.
It's
yeah.
this. It's Unicron and the Earth switched places
Okay.
in the universe at that time. So the next movie,
Cool.
the Earth is just out in space somewhere
Gotcha.
with a new sun, and
Oh.
half the world is an ice planet. I fixed
I love that.
Transformers.
That
Here we
sounds-
go.
I would
guys.
watch that movie in a heartbeat. Give me a Cybertron Transformers movie.
I think they're making that
Good. Maybe I'll watch that one, and maybe it'll be
because
decent.
this newsflash, folks. This is supposed to be the beginning of a trilogy, supposedly.
Oh, Lord.
Next one will be same timeline or something, but it'll be young Optimus Prime.
He's not young in this one.
No.
Wait, are you trolling or are you dead ass right
No, I am dead ass. I am truly,
Wow.
truly dead ass. Yeah. No, this is a real thing. He's gonna be played by Chris Hemsworth. Look it up, folks.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I guess I
Whatever.
see
It's
what you're
better,
trying
it's
to
better than
do.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I liked him.
Yeah, I liked his little mirage powers.
Yeah.
I thought he fit in with that character a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know that character from the Transformers again. Like,
You mean the same character from Apex?
I was about to say the same
Apex.
thing. He said
Apex
Mirage, and I
Legends?
was like, okay.
His name's
Oh.
literally Mirage, and all he
does
does
the
is make
exact-
duplicates
yeah,
of
he
himself.
does the
I
exact
didn't
same
even
thing.
clock that. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great point.
He's like Mirage, and I was like, okay, cool. These writers are getting really original.
Well, if anything,
I'm
I guess
sure, I'm
the-
sure he's a character in the originals. I'm just
Yeah, I
messing
was
around.
gonna
He
say
is.
Transformers would have come first,
That's
right?
funny though.
He is. Yeah, it's just funny.
Yeah, but Pete Davidson and the
Um,
voice acting is pretty solid. I mean, but it's just more the writing itself in all aspects of the writing that is just completely terrible.
Yeah, as much as I bag on Pete, it's more or less his fucking face
Yeah,
that makes
Yeah.
you want to just beat the shit out of him.
right.
Um,
He is kind of like
but,
the least Pete Davidson in this movie, but like he didn't really. It's not like he brought like, oh, I'm Pete Davidson, but I'm a Transformer. It did feel like he was actually trying to play a different character, and yes, that character is a little bit more comedic and light, but it wasn't. It wasn't
I
like
think
Pete
that's because
Davidson
you
and
don't see his
bodies.
face. I think it helps.
It might have helped, yeah.
But he actually was not one of my biggest gripes that I have with this. Some of my downfalls were so the Iron Man part. It like it cover his face. It looks like shit.
It's terrible.
It looks so fucking bad when you have his face out like that.
It
I
looks
still
like,
probably wouldn't have liked it if
Spy
he covered
Kids.
him all the way up, but when it's just basically the glass over his face, it looks fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I probably would have had a better time seeing this in 3D, which I did fight myself on because it's clearly made for that. But yeah, it doesn't look good. That was probably one of the parts where I'm like, yeah, this sucks.
I also that is the one thing I did see this in IMAX, so
Yeah.
there
Sure.
could be something too with just like I was in a pretty good spot and like the screen was fucking massive and the sound design in it was really well done as well too. So
That
that
could've
could
helped.
also have played into why I was like, oh yeah, I'm just like my brain is completely shut off and I am just rolling along
Right.
with the movie at
I
this
would
point.
have I would have loved to see it in IMAX or 3D, but there was no good show times for when I needed to see it because I really only had one window, which was Monday night. So there wasn't a good options for 3D or IMAX.
I went
for
Monday
me.
night,
Oh, we should have gone together.
but at like 8:30.
I went at 8:30. Were you at Barrington?
You went Sunday
Yeah.
night.
No, I went. I'm pretty sure. it
You
was
went Sunday night because we saw each other at work on Monday and I didn't.
You know
work
what?
today.
You're right. I did go Sunday night. Why did I think it was Monday? I'm all over the place. It's been a weird week.
But yeah,
Oh yeah. Well. we
and
just
then
missed each other.
Brooklyn, fucking Brooklyn, baby, Brooklyn. We get it. We know where the fuck you're from, dude.
I had the same.
I understand. I don't fucking care anymore. Like within the last 20 to 30 minutes, all he says is something about him being from Brooklyn. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Give this kid some other lines because he's somewhat compelling. I want to see what the
Mhm.
fuck he can do.
Mm-hmm.
I was so upset.
He is good, dude. Anthony Ramos. Don't let this be his only reference for you because he's really solid.
I mean, it's again just chalking one more up for it is the Super Mario's movie.
I was thinking of the Mario's movie during this. Yeah,
I don't know what I was thinking.
yeah. I also,
I think I'm about done with the needle drops for movies as well too, man.
you know, you
I-
say that.
I want scores again. I could really use some.
Yeah, it's a
some
little bit of both.
strings.
Because the only time that this really affected me was when Bumblebee jumped out. And like,
100%, yeah.
cool.
But that's
See, that's the thing is you say no more needle drops, and I agree with you. And they did the needle drop for Bumblebee, and I was like, this isn't even done well, and I don't want this, whatever. But that was also the best shot of the movie. That was the only part where I was like, oh, okay, cool. That was the only part where I liked was that Bumblebee shot. And
I
so
don't necessarily agree with that, but sure, go ahead.
that was the only part I got any enjoyment out of. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
just don't understand how he gets his fucking shit pushed in, and then
There was
like
no
when he comes back
explanation.
to life, now he can fucking be fucking bullseyeing womp rats in his fucking T-17. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Does anybody else get that reference besides Nathaniel?
No, Blake wouldn't.
Womp Rats? Where's Womp Rats from?
Nah, I lost
It's Star Wars.
I was about to say, isn't that Star Wars?
Yeah, it's Luke when he's talking about the trying to shoot down the Death Star.
Yeah. What is it? Something Canyon. Runner's Canyon?
Beggars Canyon.
Beggars Canyon.
I used to hit those in my T-17 and
Yeah.
run down Beggars Canyon back home.
Yeah.
They're not much bigger than that.
Yeah.
But I love the animal design. They looked so
It
good.
did look good.
Shout out to Cheetah.
Yeah, I just wish like watching that animated series when I was a kid, and then obviously watching it a little bit more now. I just have such an appreciation for the Beast Wars era. And when they brought this out and like you see the design and everything, it was done so well. I just wish that the other Transformers had more speaking parts besides Optimus.
I would agree.
And Airazor, because Cheetor is such a big part of the Maximals team. He's basically like second in command behind Optimus, and if it's not him, it's Rhinox, who had like 0 lines.
I was about to say, I don't know if we
0.
heard Rhinox speak.
Yeah, but he did crush a dude's head with a big hammer.
He did.
That's true.
That was a bit I liked as well too.
That was a good bit.
And like they all have kind of like these weapons that would have been such like a dope like fan service without like going too crazy, that I think just would have helped them so much. And I was just really disappointed.
I liked the bad guy designs in this one. I
They were
thought they
good.
were better
Those are dope.
than the other ones that they have been in the past, where they're just jagged messes of people that you can't tell where anything is. But I thought Scourge looked cool. I thought he looked cool as the truck,
Scourge.
where it was that was probably my favorite bit about it, was when he became the big demon truck, and it reminded me of like Jeepers Creepers and Tool, or not Tool, Duel. And like I like that he had the different people that he killed, and he'd
Yeah, that was cool. He
laser
welded
him
them on
onto
there.
his chest, and then when he would turn to the truck, they were on the front bumper and shit, so
Yeah,
when you could
yeah,
see him,
that
he was
was
chasing
cool.
you down.
That was cool.
I really liked that scene. I thought that scene when they were on the kind of different highways, and you had the 3 terror cons, I think is what they were called.
Sure.
You had the Nissan, which was awesome,
Yeah,
the girl one,
Yeah.
and then there was the other guy that
Is it
had
a
the
Camaro?
no,
Or
it was a
What am I thinking
Nissan.
of?
It was a
Okay.
Nissan Skyline,
Okay.
wasn't it, Tyler?
I
guys would
really
know.
honestly couldn't see. It's definitely a
I just remember there was,
Nissan.
like, a
It's
black
either a
car
Sylvia or
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Skyline.
Yeah.
It's
I
one
wasn't
of the two.
paying attention too much to the brands, but I believe you guys. Yeah, Nissan. But I thought it was cool that they had like a bad guy version of like a Bumblebee car. Like it
Yeah,
felt
I
like it
thought
was
they
like
were
a bad
distinct
guy.
designs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like you had the
100%.
cool. She had cool like ssamurai swords, and the other guy
Mhm.
had the stuff they kept using, and then he would grab stuff and use it as a mace.
Yeah,
Like
he's got
that
the
was pretty.
mace. Yeah.
That was pretty sick. Like
Yeah.
those were bits where I thought in some ways the action was a little bit more clear than it has been in previous installments.
That is very true. Not really something I'd consider too much because I just haven't seen the other ones in so long. But I
Sure.
did forget that that's a big issue with the old ones is that you can't really tell who's who for the most part. In
Right.
some of them.
So yeah, I think in those senses, like I was more just fine with the movie overall. But yeah, I think again my kind of main takeaway is like, if this is what we're doing with IP movies now, that's fine. I can like approach them of like, yeah, put them in the box. You know what? Save the needle drops for those movies because clearly something that they want to have in them.
Mhm.
From Mario to this to there's another one a few weeks ago that had some needle drops in it as well too, or
I
recently.
mean, we did also just get done with Guardians, which is all the
which
Guardians
which
is a lot of
started
needle
the whole
drops.
thing. Yeah, no one's done it better.
is done very well.
Right, that's the problem. Is everyone's ripping
But-
off.
but that's it. Yeah.
They didn't take from Guardians. Oh, people have emotional reactions and use music to underscore your emotional moments. They took it. We need to put popular songs in every fucking
Right.
movie.
The needle drop has to be earned for it to be effective,
Right.
and that's why Guardians does it so well.
Correct. And Guardians still has a score. as well,
Correct.
too, in
Yeah,
the
and it's not
background.
just right. I feel like Spider-Verse does that have some needle drops?
Yeah, we talked about last
Couple,
week. There's a
yeah.
ton of stuff, but like even that, like how many times did we hear the intro to Biggie Biggie Biggie? Can't you see? Hypnotize. In this movie, I think it's dropped twice.
Mm.
Which when I hear that song, I think of Into the Spider-Verse now because it's what Uncle Aaron plays when he first gets when Michaels first comes
I
in there.
recognize that too.
You
I
know,
was like,
or
this
Connor
is a
McGregor's
Spider-Verse.
walking. But anyways,
Don't
like
know that one. Yeah.
like it's such a double-edged sword. I feel like with the needle drops as well too. Like people have moments in their mind for those iconic songs or their own relationships to them. If you're not doing if you miss that mark with those songs, like then you're gonna have people having the wrong reaction to your movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
100%.
I'm getting into the weeds a little bit, but anyways.
No, I think
I
it's
didn't hate
valid.
this one. I think it's
I
just
did.
like is a very representative of what is wrong with IP filmmaking at the moment.
Which is
Yeah,
valid.
I would agree. I got a lot of love for this movie. And going back to your point earlier, I think that there is a lot of anger being taken out on this movie that probably should have been taken a little bit more or spread out through the Transformers universe. But yeah, I feel like this still could have been better for how far we've come and what we have on the docket for what's coming up, and this just had so much more potential, and I think they just missed a really, really big piece of it. Also, in all the other movies, as bad or good as you think they are, at least you get some kind of personal bond built to at least one Transformer. I feel like they dumbed down Optimus a lot. I feel like most of his stuff was very emotionless.
Yeah, they're trying to do the.
Until
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
I feel they're it's like I think they're trying to like solve where in the later ones or in the other ones he's just a lunatic killer. Cuz like they have that kind of like that moment where Optimus Primal's like, well, he's not the warrior I once knew, because all Optimus does nowadays is just talk about how he wants to murder all of the Decepticons or whoever stands in his way
Yeah.
before he gets back to his planet. So I think that's what they were trying to do a little bit, was like maybe wrestle that narrative back so that he'll now not
Sure.
be a lunatic in the next ones. But to your point, I think it's like too late for that. Or like if you wanted to do that, continuity is not really a thing of that in these movies anyways. Just fucking change the character. Have him actually be
Yeah.
Optimus for once, you know? Sorry,
Facts.
I just
No, you're good.
completely cut you
Keep
off and took over your point
No,
there as well too.
No, you're totally good.
Please continue your thoughts on.
That I mean, like that was really my main thing. It's just there's no emotional or emotions behind what I thought I felt like with these characters through some of the other movies.
I liked Optimus Primal better in this movie than
Yeah,
Optimus
100%.
Prime. Like he's cool. He's a big monkey.
100%. And the weird thing is like I said with the fan service, like I get when movies overdo fan service and it's really not good sometimes, but you barely did anything with this. The only thing you did was the original, like the designs of the beast forms.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fucking Optimus Prime literally has a fucking like hoverboard that he fucking flies around on in the animated series, which would have been so fucking cool. It basically looks like James Franco's fucking hover snowboard from Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And it's fucking dope. And like I said, Cheetor doesn't have a fucking spear. He's got a blaster that basically shows his intestines in the blaster because he's a fucking animal. So it would make sense that you would see his body parts in the things that he uses. So it would have been really cool to see some of those things pulled out, or have some kind of iteration of fan service to those things, because I think you just missed a huge gap.
Yeah. All right. Are we good here?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't mean to shit on this movie. There
I
are
do.
redeemable pieces, and and I do like it. I think it'll probably be good for a second watch for sure. Definitely a movie that you can have on in the background, especially with like our group of friends, where you can either have something on the background that's mediocre and you can tear it apart, or just like make fun of something that's also really good while you're watching it and just kind of hanging out. So I think this will probably grow on some people over the next few years here, but it definitely could have been better for sure.
Yeah. It's just, man, I want these to be good. That's the thing. Because I want a
I
good
think everybody
Transformers
does.
movie, you know?
I mean, when we saw the first one, when you first saw a live action version of Transformers, you fucking shit. You shit yourself.
I did. I
It
was
was
also
so
7.
fucking cool.
So like it was somewhat passable on both ends of things.
And it was so cool when you first saw it. And there's so much potential with these, especially with the kind of technology we have right
Mhm.
now for movies. And yeah, I think this also might be one of those movies like Spider-Man. The idea of disbelief in an animated series is just probably going to play out better than it does in live action.
I would love a animated Transformers movie of similar to Spider-Verse.
Well, I'd love any animated movie similar to Spider-Verse.
Okay,
Spider-Verse
fair.
is a very good
Yeah,
animated movie.
right. Yeah, let's be clear on that, for sure.
All right. Yes to
I
that.
love a movie similar to Spider-Verse at this point, to be honest with you.
yes to all of that, but it's just an animated Transformers movie where maybe you're right, Ty, maybe we do have more suspension of disbelief, or restart the franchise, get a plan going, something like that.
I feel like I truly feel this is like this whole like mental path you're taking. This was my response after Transformers 4. After we'd gotten rid of the LaBeouf and they took it a couple years off and they were coming back with Marky Mark. Because I was like, oh, we're rebooting the franchise. It's Age of Extinction. We're getting Mark Wahlberg, guaranteed franchise juice. Because this was, what, 2012 or whenever when that came out?
Something like
that. I was like, you know what? I'm excited it's coming back. You know, Bay said he was out, but something about this, he's back in. And then it was the most fucking dog shit movie I have ever seen in my entire life. And it broke me. It genuinely broke me away from this franchise that I didn't see the 5th one. And then I was like, oh, they rebooted the franchise and they made it good with Bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then they brought out this one, and I feel like my things are less. I'm not as aggressive towards it to you, but I feel like you're going through that path right now with this particular
maybe if
one.
I had seen the other ones, I would have already been through this, and maybe I could get to where you're at, where you've been freed of all your transgressions.
Yes,
my
chains
not,
are gone.
Yeah, I have not achieved nirvana there, or transformvana, whatever the hell. I've not achieved.
I think
that
that's
yet.
an energy cube in the next one that they're gonna have to go up to.
No, that's the next rare earth metal they find on Pandora and Avatar.
If Transformers broke you, how the fuck has Fast and the Furious not?
Oh, because Fast and Furious is melodrama. Like that. That's
it's a soap opera.
It's pure pantomime at this point. You know.
Honestly, I'm on the other side.
And
of
I'm
that,
all
where
about family.
I would watch 2 more Transformers movies before I watched another fucking 10
At
minutes.
this point,
of a Fast and
100%.
Furious.
Really?
For sure, bro.
That's actually
They're
kind
superheroes.
of valid. I don't know.
They're superheroes, man.
I don't know. These are still pretty terrible.
They're super fucking lame.
Yeah, but at least they started kind of with the same idea, right? Where I mean, you have these makeshift sentient beings, right? Who are robots, right? There's still a ton of action, so they kind of have those things going for them. As far as Fast and Furious, I originally signed up for a drag street racing movie, and now I am watching people jump off fucking buildings and
Fly Pontiac Fieros.
yeah, like come on, bro.
You forgot about the giant.
You're watching
dam.
people jump from highway overpasses onto vehicles, taking no fall damage.
Hang on, you don't remember Vin Diesel
Can't do it, man.
collapsing a cave, a prison? He pulled 2 metal chains and pulled down the entire concrete walls.
Wasn't that a sewer?
A sewer system, whatever it was.
Yeah,
He
no,
just
no.
grabbed 2
I can't do it,
giant-ass
man.
chains
Sign me
and
up
pulled
for
them.
more Transformers films before I watch another 10 seconds or 10 fucking minutes of Fast and Furious, fella. I'm telling you. Can't do it, man.
All right.
I love it.
Let me ask you this, though. So, with this is just for shits and giggles, of course, with where Fast and the Furious is currently going, do you see in a battle between them and Transformers, who do you think comes out on top? Because from what we've seen so far, the Fast and Furious universe may very well be able to outstand Transformers.
Hey, if they didn't take Vin's car, they ain't taking him away from his
I'm
family.
telling
we
you.
discussed, we've brought up the crossovers before, and we didn't even talk
Yeah.
about G.I. Joe yet. But if we ever discussed, I think Transformers Fast and Furious crossover would actually be entertaining.
Well, then
Where
in
they're driving the
fucking
Transformers.
Fast and the Furious 15, you would see Optimus come back
Mm-hmm.
and somehow teach Vin how to transform,
Oh,
man. He'd say it's your turn to drive.
It's your
or some
turn.
fucking dumb shit like
I
that.
like it. I like it.
And he would let him transform. You'd see Vin Diesel transform into the Camaro.
I want it to be like pure body horror. I want it to be like, I want it to be painful.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's got to be like an American Werewolf in London, like under like harsh light, and like you see the skin stretch out and like the bones go metal underneath his arms and crap. Yeah, it just takes a hard turn into body horror at that point.
Yeah,
That'd be more entertaining.
I would be so on board at that point.
Either of those two franchises have done in the past 10 years.
And Scourge is somehow a car that he blew up like 10 years back that we're going to get a flashback from.
No, it's
it's
Hans McLaren.
Fast 9.
It's Hans
There you
McLaren that blew up and caught fire.
Yeah, that
turns out it wasn't just a Han double; it was a car double.
That's
too.
funny as fuck.
No, you're right. That's where I want the Transformers franchise to go next. I want them to start building the family into the cars. I want them to just go.
Did you say Hans McLaren?
Is it a McLaren? What is he driving?
It's not a McLaren.
All right, man. You know I'm not a car guy. Give me a break.
Right?
It's the same color scheme as a McLaren though.
Yeah,
so I get it. I get it.
Sure.
It's a Mazda.
It is a Mazda. It's an RX-7.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Points.
Nonetheless, I was with you, Adam. I'm right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But yeah, I don't. Can we talk about G.I. Joe real quick?
G.I. Joe.
How does that crossover make any sense? Are they gonna make a crossover movie then?
No, I think it already does make sense. I think the suits in the first G.I. Joe movie where they run across Paris.
Isn't that the second one?
No, that's the first one.
No, it's the first one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the first.
They're
one.
clearly
the
they've been modeled off the Mirage suit from this one.
This is wild.
I've already solved it for us. Don't worry about it. They're already intertwined. The original G.I. Joes were already Transformers movies. I've gone full Fast and Furious.
Hey, if
6
we
and
get
retconned
Channing
this.
Tatum in the next Transformers, you might have me.
It's not a bad call, right? Like I've thought
you might have me back.
There are worse. There are worse crossovers we could do.
Are there?
I think so.
Like what?
We've got to stop giving a platform like these guys. who are allowing these crossovers to happen. Because
I would rather watch a Transformers G.I. Joe than when inevitably someone tries to force Marvel into the Star Wars universe.
No, that's still more
the
entertaining.
Multiverse is alive. Anything can happen.
I don't want to watch.
But I will say this. I will say this. When they showed the thing, I completely forgotten that Snake Eyes was a movie. Like I completely forgot that we got a G.I. Joe. I was like, oh god, we're getting a new G.I. Joe movie. That's kind of cool. We haven't had one of those since like 2011. I completely have blanked Snake Eyes.
No, man.
How crazy is it though that we're now getting other movies that are following the multiverse platform?
Who would have thought?
It's not crazy at all. They take all the wrong lessons from Into the Spider-Verse.
You
which
guys
was
know
2018.
Have you guys seen the Breaking Bad? And I haven't watched enough of it, but you know the Breaking Bad scene? It's been memed infinite times of where the guy's crying. He's like, they can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about crossovers, guys. Like, we have to stop this. They can't keep getting away with doing this. It's frustrating. I don't like it. It's obviously cash grabs, but it's like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Like, where's the end? I don't think it has one.
No.
Everything's just going to become one big ball of mush.
Right.
Hey,
well,
we say it time and time again, right? You either die a hero or you live long enough to become a villain.
If you want to look at it from any sort of positive way, there is stuff that is happening right now that is kind of hopefully pushing more against this. Like we said, we have the Writers Guild on strike at the moment for various different reasons, but partially because of not feeling like they're making artistic films or anything like that anymore. Disney is having to push. They just announced today they're pushing some of the Marvel movies and the Avatar movies back. They're starting to get delayed, so things are starting to happen.
I didn't see Avatar. I saw them.
Yeah, the SAG Guild, which is the Screen Actors Guild, recently said that they may join the strike as well too. Which, you know, if they get the nerdy people upset and then they get the pretty people upset, that'll really affect things as well too. So
good
we may start seeing some of this
the writers
starting to change a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, it definitely seems. And the other side of it is that all of these kind of the layoffs that we're seeing from these big streamer companies, the kind of reshuffling over at HBO and stuff like that, hopefully they're understanding that brands are not the answer. These are not the way to draw people in. Please don't make hour-and-a-half advertisements for things anymore. Just make good movies.
That's all we want. That's all we've ever wanted.
They're the VPL of the movie world.
They truly are. It's a very niche reference that only Best Buy employees will understand.
Yes.
But folks,
But if you
it's-
are a Best Buy employee, I bet you're on the floor right now.
there's a deep cut for you, yeah. A little something extra there for you.
Let's get out of here. Okay. Welcome back, listeners who skipped over the spoiler segment of the podcast. We're going to go ahead and throw Transformers Rise of the Beast up upon our Entropy list, which is our big list of all the movies we reviewed compared to one another, which is essentially how we rate our movies. If you want to check out the Entropy list for yourself, you can do so by checking out that link in the episode description.
How low can you go? How low can you
Pretty
go?
effing low, dude.
I got my spot.
All right, let her rip.
And I'm going to be probably higher than most because I don't hate this movie. But I'm going to put it... And this is purely because there are some movies down below it that I know, one in particular, I won't ever get some people to change on. So I'm going to put it at 130, below Antlers, above F9.
Oh,
And unfortunately, that is above
Yeah.
High Tension. But what are you going to do?
For pod canon joke's sake, I'm gonna keep saying it deserves to be down there, and I stand by it. But it doesn't deserve to be below this movie. I just want that to be known.
Anyways, so 130 for your boy. I assume you will all be below me.
That is.
I'm
correct.
sorry. I think I missed the joke. What was the canon pod joke, Adam? You
Oh,
said
Oh.
this movie did not deserve to be above which movie?
I said for
Is it the
pod
movie I'm thinking
canon's
of?
sake, I will continue the joke that High Tension's not that good and deserves to be down there. But I just want it to be known. I just want it to be known that it does not deserve to be below this movie. So
I figured that was your joke, and honestly,
Yeah.
with you, that's kind of when I started looking at this, and I was like, all right, guys, I got to start standing on some type of principles.
don't worry, Blake. We're gonna be right. We're gonna be right there together on this
Yeah.
one.
I simply cannot put this film above High Tension.
And
I'm
neither
tired of
should you.
slaughtering High Tension. That's now ranked the 6th worst film we reviewed,
Yeah.
and I will die on a hill that is not the case.
Nor
So-
should you.
Just based on that, man, I'll just go 144. I don't really think it's like that bad, but I can't put this shit above High Tension, guys.
So
I gotta have a bad
below
one somewhere.
below High Tension and above The Purge. All right. Ty?
Yeah, the Purge is ass. So yeah,
I actually think I'm gonna be the highest.
You guys are all crazy if you're putting it above Nathaniel's.
Wait, what was Nathaniel at
Um,
again?
130.
130.
30. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, if I'm basing this off anything, it's what would I rather watch multiple times? Like, out of all these movies, including this one, what am I gonna go watch tomorrow? And honestly, like, the only thing that's even coming close is like I will watch Trick or Treat any day of the week, any day
Yeah,
of the year.
you are big on Trick or Treat.
Fucking maybe Zack Snyder's cut Justice League, but like I think this is still like I'm never watching Borat again. I'm never watching The Tomorrow War. I'm never watching
feel you.
Reminiscence. I'm never watching Fast 10, Fast 9.
Yeah,
Antlers get fucked. Like Thor, absolutely not. So, like, I'm probably gonna be. I wanted Don't Worry, Darling to be so good, but it's so forgetful. And I think I'd just rather watch this. So I'm gonna be at 123.
123 below Trick or Treat and above Don't Worry,
Yep.
Darling, then, yeah? Nathaniel, you were going to say something?
nope. I'm good.
Okay. Well,
Adam, what are you rolling?
fellas, There's not a lot
You're
of
going
movies.
dead last?
I'm going
Is
dead
he- is
last,
he-
dude. I'm below American Pickle. I would rather rewatch American Pickle than this movie.
Come on.
I'm not kidding.
Are you serious?
Put it on right now, Nathaniel. I'll
No.
watch it right now. I'll sit here for an hour and a half and watch American Pickle to prove my point.
Oh man.
I would 1000% do that before I watch this movie again.
Yeah, that's a tough take. However,
Hot
I do
take.
like it because that will obviously kind of sway when we average this thing out. I don't think it's going to sway enough to unfortunately be below high tension, but
It's going to mess some things
if I was
around,
some-
but I don't care.
yeah. Now, if I were to go down there with you, that probably would be able
Hey,
to
man,
sway
you're
some
welcome.
things.
You're welcome to join me. There's
Still,
room
still
down
don't think
here.
it'd be able to get high tension. That's all. I'll keep it there, 144. But yeah, I hear you, Adam.
All right. So we were 149, 140, 149, 144, 123, and 130. Everyone hear their number?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
That gives us an average rating of 136.5, meaning it would go below or above Zack Snyder's Justice League. What a perfect movie to compare this to.
Below for sure. Guys.
Below?
Let's be real.
I think we should.
Let's be
I
real.
kind of agree.
Yeah, the only thing that hurts Justice League is its length.
I was about to
For
say
sure.
time.
Other than that, it's
so long.
So yeah, I'm cool with that being below.
Dude, that feels like a just I'd rather get shot than like a which one would you rather watch? Like gun to my head, gun to my balls. I don't know if I could pick. Just take them both, you know?
I mean, I've been on record though saying I really don't think Snyder Cut was that bad. It is incredibly long, and I've shitted on.
That's
films
its
for being
biggest
way too long,
drawback,
so
for
that
sure.
may be kind of a hypocrite statement for me. But yeah,
I say the same thing about animes. Is if your only excuse about something that it's bad or you don't want to watch it is because of its length, then get fucked. You should at least
Fair.
try it.
fair.
Yeah, you
And
forget
so
you
that-
forget Cyborg going
I
into
was
the
about to say,
financial
so
markets,
much.
playing with the stocks, and giving people giving money back to people
Also-
who need it.
Yeah. What a savior.
Do you guys think Pete Davidson will ever break top 100? Because right now he's sitting at
He is
10
struggling.
He's sitting at 108.
No, Suicide Squad.
140.
Oh, that's a great point.
You forgot Suicide Squad.
He sucks.
He's good in that one. He's in it for I don't know. 20
Damn, that's
20 minutes.
51. Bring it down.
All right, so then Rise of the Beast is below Snyder Cut, yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
So then we got it at 137, below Snyder Cut and above the Super Mario Bros. Movie. What a great spot this landed. I wish it was lower, but nonetheless. It's above Wonder Woman 1984 somehow. So there's something.
You're
Here. All right, well, that's it for the review here. Our next review will be, speaking of Snyder Cut, we're doing The Flash, yeah?
That is the one.
oh wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're doing The Flash next week. It's been how many years since it started production? Isn't this a
Oh, this
COVID
one's
film?
one
Gotta be
that,
like
no,
probably
this is
five?
this is one that's been like the production on the Flash goes back to like 2008. It's had like
Oh.
so
Really?
many directors that have come in and come out, had rewrites and everything. Like this is one of the most troubled movies of all time. It's kind of amazing in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see, man.
we'll see. Hopefully it bombs so that they fire Ezra Miller,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Maybe
and-
we shouldn't review it.
and
Let's
then
not give
Disney
them money.
will fire Jonathan Majors, because that's one thing I don't want to have happen.
Yeah, they haven't said anything about him.
No, I think they're probably giving a real hard
They-
look at this one here and seeing how this movie
Mhm.
does overall.
Mhm.
Because Ezra Miller's done some pretty fucked up things, and if they come back after this, man, I don't know.
Fuck Ezra
Would-
Miller.
Yeah.
For sure.
Allegedly.
Hopefully James Gunn comes
Facts.
to his
No.
senses.
Yeah,
No.
I guess
I'm
he
not. I'm
do
not
all-
allegedly hating him. I hate him.
He is a, or they
Yeah,
strange. Very, 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 very strange.
they've been accused of some pretty fucked up stuff. Look it up, folks. You'll see what we've seen.
Yeah,
Anyways,
you'll find it.
moving on.
Draft. Not for World War III. For movies, movie themed drafts.
Yeah, this is what we're
Best
doing
first
for
movies.
episode 150. That's what we
Episode
decided.
150. Yeah, fun little draft. We're going to do a draft, as Blake just mentioned, of the best, worst movies of all time. Now, this is, of course, kind of subjective, so it's kind of just going to be general, do most people think it's bad? The way we're deciding this, of course, is if it's up for debate amongst the squadron here. If your movie that you have drafted is up for debate, the other three have to vote if it is good or bad. Majority wins on that. 2 out of 3 vote. That's who determines if it's good or bad. So it's a little subjective here, but if it gets outruled, it'll be X'd off the list. You have to redraft. We're going to do 3 picks here. We didn't decide order. What did we do the order last time? It was Tyler first. I went last, I remember. And I don't know.
I assume you went age.
I think we
You
did.
did go age.
You want to go
You want to
opposite?
snake it and do the opposite? now?
Sure,
Yeah.
we can do the opposite. I'll go first. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. No.
So what are we doing? Are we giving our first, like the best worst film or the worst best film? How are we ranking this, guys? Are we going 1 first or 3 first?
I think last time we did 3 first, right?
Okay, work the way up. Let's do it.
Well, no, I mean, first round draft is your best. Your first round of the
Yeah, I guess
draft
that's
is
a
your
good
best
point.
pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you want to pick your
All right.
best, worst film first,
Go for it then.
fair enough.
which is why.
Let it rip.
Which is why I, in the first round of the 150 episode draft, select the Emoji Movie.
Fuck, you want to talk about?
Also, do you have to have seen these movies?
I have seen the Emoji Movie.
Oh wow.
Okay, I'm not saying that, but like, are we going off that? Because otherwise, how do you know if you like it or not?
Yeah, you have to see it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a
for
valid
sure.
rule. That's a valid rule. I have seen it.
I
pretty bad.
genuinely forgot that's a movie that existed as well too.
Exactly why it's a terrible movie, and it's probably one of
That's
the best terrible movies. Yeah.
is that Sony? I think we brought
Oh,
that
it's
up when we were
definitely
talking about
Sony.
Spider-Man movies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that movie got a lot of love.
No, it did not.
No, it's
Got-
also.
I mean,
complete opposite of
I don't
love.
really remember.
didn't it?
So-
That had
I couldn't
TJ.
tell you a
It
single
did.
thing about that film. Seen
Yeah.
it one time, never rewatched
It
it.
had T.J. Miller, who said this was the future of comedy, and we have not seen T.J. Miller in anything since the
Wow.
Emoji Movie.
He had his own stuff.
Did he? I forgot.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
right. He did have his own stuff.
Yeah,
didn't he? I
he's
forgot
a
about that.
lunatic.
Yeah, that's right. I
He's a
forgot about that.
loose unit.
Yeah,
That's one we don't have to be allegedly about. He is a loose unit.
fair enough. Yeah, Emoji Movie, notorious terrible film, and it is quite bad. Definitely not one I will be rewatching anytime soon. That's my number 1 pick here. Who would go next then? I think it was Blake. Yeah,
Yep.
I think it was reverse
Yep.
order there. Let me make sure. I got to start a list here. Make sure we get
Okay, not a good pick. Very respectable. I have seen the Emoji Movie. Have not rewatched it. I guess that kind of says enough, right? One that I'm kind of leaning on here. It is a player we discuss frequently. Well, at least I discuss frequently. We actually just kind of talked about it briefly in terms of the entropy list, and that's how this one came about. So, I mean, I think the movie is held in high standards in the horror community, and somehow on our entropy list, it is ranked as the 6th worst film we've ever fucking seen, and that's High Tension. And I can't agree with that, fella. So that is based off kind of the criteria I'm looking at here. That's got to be the best worst movie.
Wait, what are you basing
He's
this
going
off?
off bad movies that he enjoys.
Yes.
Yeah, or that other people call bad, but that you enjoy it.
I
so.
should maybe rethink my. Okay, I misunderstood this.
Correct.
in my
And
own
I
sense.
guess that is kind of a tale of two swords, right? Because I guess I would argue that this really isn't a bad movie. I
Right.
don't think it's a bad movie, right? But just based off the entropy list and kind of what we've discussed, it's now sunk to the pits of hell. So
Unfairly punished.
yeah, for sure. So that's my one.
I think it's somewhat fair, but
Yeah, bend the rules a little bit, but they say they say you're not trying if you don't at least try to cheat once. You know what I mean?
Following a similar vein, I'm gonna go just off the top of my head because I think we said we might not have talked about it, but we didn't do a lot of prep on our bad movies draft. I'm gonna go League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is a
Love that movie,
movie,
bro.
yeah, which is a movie that is just like objectively not good. You know, and most
Guilty.
people hate it. Most people hate it. Anyone that was a fan of the original comic doesn't like it, but I still think it rips. It's so much fun. It's so stupid. And like everyone is just so weird in it overall as well too. And it's that strange time period when they weren't quite doing everything CGI, but they were also still doing a lot of practical effects as well too. Sean Connery's in it for some reason. Like
I
it's
was gonna
just
say it's like his last ditch effort to like still be
Yeah.
on top of like the action series, but like new young guns are coming in.
Yep. Yep. The whole reason he did it was because he turned down Gandalf and Dumbledore. So he just wanted to do a good franchise, and yeah, it's trash, but I love it. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, folks, check it out.
Figure.
Do I get to repick my first pick? I misunderstood this. And even,
If you were under a different premises, you're more than welcome to. I'm okay with it.
I'll go last because
Yeah.
I messed up, so it's my fault. So I'll let you. Or I mean, I don't think you're gonna. Pick
I don't
the
even know
Emoji
if you've
Movie,
heard of the
so-
movie. I'm going to say first. So you if you want to go first, you're more
Let
than
me
welcome to.
let me think of something first. You go ahead because I still got to think.
Okay. So, going along the same vein that these gentlemen are, that is like these movies are somewhat notoriously known as bad movies, but either you enjoy them or they might have like a very small cult following. Can't be a large cult following. But I for my first round draft, I'm gonna go with Waterworld.
Oh man, that's another good one too. Yeah, that would be.
Haven't even seen that.
That could have been easily like fourth on my list as well too.
I definitely haven't seen
Yeah.
that.
That's peak Costner.
Yeah, so Waterworld is basically a post-apocalyptic world in where the entire world has just basically gone underwater and everybody lives on boats and like flying islands and there's pirates and villages and just all hell breaks loose. And it is notorious for having one of the biggest budgets that
Yeah,
a movie has ever had
massive.
and not recouped like barely any of it.
They shot the
Like
whole
just
thing like
took a
out.
fucking shit.
Yeah, they shot like the whole thing out in the ocean on water as well too. Like it was
Holy
insane
crap!
what they were doing with it, and yeah, it just
Bro.
tanked. But I remember seeing it as a kid and loving it. I was like, "This is the
So
coolest thing I've
cool.
ever seen." Yeah,
Mm.
they used to
When
have
they
this.
go like in the water and she's like in the little bubble thing.
Yep, they used to have
Losing
a,
my shit.
a stunt show at Universal, which was awesome as well too, where they would do all the stunts from the movie as well. It made no sense in like 2008 why they were doing this Waterworld show, but it was still awesome. Big supporter of Waterworld.
So yeah, I will take Waterworld.
Watch out! Maybe they, I don't know, killed a whale in filming or something. You got to be careful, you know.
Could have. Who
Yeah.
knows?
All right, circling back to my first pick. Because you know what's funny is in my head, what we are drafting now is what I wanted to do, but then at some point, I think during the review, I forgot that it was supposed to be like your favorite bad movies, and I thought we were drafting bad movies. Regardless, my pick. Or actually, Nathaniel, why don't you go? Because we're just gonna go in that order anyway. Why don't we just?
Going reverse order again?
Oh, so we're just gonna keep snaking it, is what you're saying?
Oh, you already went, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What was your pick? That's what.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
That's right. Okay, then I'll go back to my first pick. Spider-Man 3. Sam
Oh,
Raimi.
okay.
Pretty
I
bad
fair.
film.
Fair.
A movie most people do generally say is bad.
Definitely
Yeah.
the worst Spider-Man film, I would say.
Of the first original trilogy.
What
yeah.
one did you think is worse? Amazing 2?
Yeah, that would be my other one.
That one's not great either. But I think that one's probably better than Spider-Man 3
Who's the
objectively.
villain in Amazing 2? Is that the Jamie Foxx one?
It's
Yeah.
the Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx one, but it's
Yeah.
also
They
Hobgoblin.
put that terrible wig on Jamie Foxx too. That shit was
Yeah.
just
Oh,
not,
that was bad.
that was not it, man. Yeah, for sure.
Eels.
Eels, yeah.
Goddamn electric eels.
Max. He remembered my name. Did that just unlock a
maybe
memory
that
from
should
you?
have been on your list,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah. Yeah, Adams is just gonna be the
It's
Spider-Man
just gonna be
movies.
the best worst Spider-Man films. Yeah, Spider-Man 3 though, man, we got emo Peter Parker.
We did.
That was what a time. We got emo
Big
Peter
time
Parker.
hated.
Yeah, we got 2 movies worth of plot just reversed in the first like 20 minutes. It's just pointless. That was great. We have an awkward team up, kind of. I don't know. It's a disjointed team up towards the end. But overall, man, what a good time. And I think conceptually this movie could have been good. It tried to do too much. Tried to do way too much. You can't have Venom, Sandman, and then do this whole thing with Harry Osborn and Hobgoblin. You can't do it all in one film. And they certainly tried. and it's still fun. I think I fondly remember hunting down the Happy Meal toys, but they were from Burger King. They did Burger King, not McDonald's.
Yes, I
And
do
my
remember that.
My mom was getting upset.
I remember
with
the
me.
scratch off games that you do as well too. Like you would get it on your fries, and you could like scratch off one side, and it was like
Ew,
a Spider-Man web.
Yeah, I kind
And
of remember
you
that.
would get like
I
a free
kinda remember
drink
that.
or
Yeah, I think I know what you're
a
talking about.
Cadillac.
I do. Oh, those are. But that wasn't just Spider-Man. They had those just in general, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those now. I completely forgot. But yeah, I remember I kind of made my mom upset because like there was a couple times where I like just begged her to go to Burger King because I just wanted the Hobgoblin toy. I just wanted it and I couldn't get it. I couldn't. And I think eventually she just asked if they could give me it. Like at the drive-thru, they're like,
Yeah.
"Is this? Do you know what toys in here? Can you just give them this one, please?" But yeah, I was just bugging the crap out of her to get those tie-ins. But yeah, Spider-Man 3. That's my number one pick. Blake, I'm gonna just toss it to you. I think we did we snake this before?
No, I think you should go again. We'll just go again.
The only thing is I need time to think about.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
So
that's
Blake, if you
fine.
got yours
I'll-
on deck, let's just let it. Why don't you let it rip?
Yeah, I'll let my second one rip. And this is one, and I'm not sure if maybe Nathaniel and Tyler have seen this. I could imagine Adam hasn't seen this. But just in terms of just kind of best worst movies or worst movies, whatever. I don't even know what we're ranking anymore. Nonetheless, my decision is Leprechaun in the Hood, where this
Oh
is a
my
movie that
God.
I've seen so many times, just in my childhood growing up, and it's got a ton of funny quotes that I still kind of quote to this day. It's got Ice-T in it, which I always
Love that.
fail to remember until I rewatch it. He's like a pimp. Super fucking funny movie though, man. That entire series is like quietly underrated.
Yeah.
The first one actually has Jennifer Aniston in it.
Yep.
It's her debut.
It's her first
It
movie.
is, yeah. In the second one, off the top of my head, I think it has somebody in it too. Just can't quite pinpoint who it is. But there's a few people who you'll be like, oh wow, I didn't realize they were in this series. But yeah, Leprechaun in the Hood, definitely funny. There's a quote in there where I forgot what it is. I forgot what's said before, but one of the characters referred to the leprechaun as like Chucky on crack, just as both of them just being like small doll type things. But that shit makes me laugh every fucking time. So yeah, I'm going Leprechaun in the Hood for number 2.
Solid.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Van Helsing from what
Yo,
was
awesome pick.
the
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale Van Helsing from like
Let's
2004 or whatever that was. Yeah, love it. They were definitely trying to do like mummy style action adventure, but with Frankenstein and Dracula and everything instead, and it just didn't work. But it was super cool. Love that they got to use some of the Universal monsters in it as well too. And I feel like they've kind of been trying to chase that high ever since then with like the Dracula Untold and I Frankenstein and the Mummy 2017 or whatever that was as well too and everything. So yeah, it's my other pick. It's Van Helsing.
Killer choice. I'm a big fan.
Tyler, what's next on yours?
So yeah, I'm gonna go with something that I know I have seen. I'm pretty sure Nathaniel has seen it, but he probably should have guessed this one. That this was gonna be on my list, and I've talked about it on pod before, and it recently came up because we recently reviewed the new one. But I am going to go with the Super Mario
I had a
Bros.
feeling this was going to be on your list.
The
Yeah.
live action film.
Oh, the one from what is it, like the 90s or something like
I
that?
think it's the 80s,
Mhm.
technically. 88
Yeah,
or
I
something.
think it's
I
like
didn't even
88
know
or
that
something like
film.
that.
I didn't even know that film existed until the new Super Mario film came out, the animated one, and then like I just saw that shit pop up like everywhere on Reddit.
Dude,
So like I had no idea that thing.
it's
No
insanely
fucking idea,
good.
bro.
It's so good. I
Yeah.
fucking love that movie. And like you got John Leguizamo and fucking who's the I can't remember the other guy's name.
Oh, it's oh god, now it's Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Bob Hoskins.
And it's just incredible the age that they're at and like the age that Mario's supposed to be at, and there's just so many bad things about it. The animations, a lot of the live action stuff is just fucking terrible. But it's so good. You have to watch it if you haven't watched it.
Adam, did you come up with another one?
I did, and it's one I have a hard time saying it's the best Rhodes movie just because I haven't seen it in a while to see how it's aged at all. But it's one I remember liking when I was younger. Jack and Jill.
Oh God, the Adam Sandler one.
It's so like
I remember when seeing that movie, that trailer coming out, and being like, "The Sandman's broken me. I will not go see that movie. Like, absolutely not. Just straight up refused."
I watched that movie.
I don't think I have seen that movie.
I think I saw it twice in theaters. I saw it once with my family or something, and then my friend wanted to see it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it was good. I'll go see it again." And I mean, I was like probably like 12.
Sure.
So, and it was Adam Sandler, who of course was hilarious to me at 12 years old. So yeah, I haven't seen that movie in years, but I remember kind of thinking it was hilarious. And if I'm thinking back to the moments I remember, it's probably terrible. It's probably really, real bad. But then I also remember Al Pacino's in it for some reason. And Al Pacino, the plot line of the movie is that Al Pacino is obsessed
with the sister,
with his sister.
Yeah, I figured
cannot get over his sister and does anything to get her to like marry him.
Get with Jill.
Yeah, exactly. Which is such an absurd plot line, and Al Pacino of all people to be in that movie and agree to be in that movie is just hilarious. So Jack and Jill is my answer for pick number 2. Blake, on over to you, brother.
I did my number 2. So this is
the last one.
Now?
Yeah, this is the last
round.
one.
Yeah, this is the last round.
Okay, and that's because you just don't have a third one yet, correct, Adam?
Basically, yeah.
Are you still okay? So my third one is something that I think most people would probably go on board. It's one of his worst films he's created. He's got some masterpieces. He's got some duds. This is one by M. Night Shyamalan, and that's going to be The Happening. Where this is like borderline like B movie territory, and I don't think that's intentional.
Yeah, that's one of those. That's one of those ones that like. Yeah, that
I've seen
feels
clips from that one. I haven't seen it, but I saw a clip in.
It feels like one of those ones that like in like
my
3 years, like poorly informed film students will be like, actually, The Happening is genius.
Oh, of course.
Like,
yeah, that's.
I think it's already happening.
That's weird. There's a like you said, Adam. You've seen a few clips from there that are pretty funny. I mean, there's a real
wild,
interesting scene where they got Mark Wahlberg. He's in they're in an older woman's house.
Yeah.
And they're starting to realize, spoiler alert, they're starting to realize like the plants are the reason people are dying. Spoiler alert on a 15-year-old movie. And he's in there and he's like talking to a tree in the lady's living room. Like trying to apologize, and it just looks fucking horrible.
It's amazing.
So I'm rolling with that one. If anyone hasn't seen it, I'm sure most people have. But yeah, give it a shot. Like I said, borderline B movie territory where you're just like, I don't know if this is like intentionally written this way, or what. But yeah, it's a trip for sure.
Okay, I think for my third one, I'm gonna dip into the well here. I'm gonna kick it back here a little bit to a movie that I don't imagine a lot of people have seen. But I remember just absolutely just rinsing as a kid over and over again on there. And it was one of those movies that I taped off of the Disney Channel.
I was just about to ask, can we do Disney Channel movies?
And would like rewatch back on those ones. It's a movie called First Kid. It came out in 1996, and it is about a Secret Service agent played by the comedian Sinbad.
Oh my God.
Who is a Secret Service agent for the president's son. And if I remember correctly, it was like right at the time where they were like trying to like the internet was becoming cool. So like the kid would like call people from the phone from the internet, and then he had like a tarantula as a pet, and it got like let out once.
That's edgy,
yeah,
man.
yeah. And then like the climax was like set in like a mall, but it was a mall within a virtual reality arcade that you like put the big like it was like a 3-foot headset on that was wired to a platform up above you and everything, and then it was like intercutting between what the character was seeing in the game with 90s graphics into like real life when the Secret Service evil agent was chasing him down after as well. And Yeah, just an insane movie that I will think about every now and then. Is like, I just used to love it as a kid. But yeah, there you go. Sinbad, first kid, 1996.
Valid. When's the last time you saw it?
Probably 1998.
Valid. Very, very fair. Tyler?
Yeah. So I was gonna kind of follow suit with wherever Nathaniel was going as far as giving a little bit more of a deep dive of a movie that probably nobody has seen. Or if I was gonna go a little more relevant. So I'm gonna go with my really, really deep dive. I don't know if anybody in here has seen it. I know Justin has. There's a good chance Ryan has as well. But I don't even know if Nathaniel has, but it's a movie from 1986.
Okay.
It is Stephen King's debut as a director, and I think it might be his only movie that he directed.
Oh boy. Yep.
But this is called Maximum Overdrive, and it's fucking insane. It's it's basically a horror movie where machines just basically start coming alive.
Yeah, is the
and
main
just trying to
villain
fucking kill you.
Isn't the main villain a semi truck? Isn't it?
Yeah, he's got like the
Green Goblin.
basically the Green Goblin mask on it.
Yeah. Like not like the cartoon
now
one.
I gotta see this.
Not like the like Sam Raimi Green Goblin where it's like the motorcycle helmet stylized one. It's like the old school like cartoon,
like the comic book.
Yeah, Green Goblin truck.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This got made. This is a real thing.
Yeah, it was directed by Stephen King.
Is that Optimus Prime?
And the only person that you might know in this, the only person that I probably think I really know in this, I'd have to really kind of look around, is Emilio Estevez.
I was gonna say I wanted to say it was one of the Sheens, but yeah, it makes sense that it's Emilio.
That's hilarious.
Take that, beat that, you sons of bitches.
Good pick. Good pick. I just the image of that truck with that mask on is just has me know what kind of movie I'm in for. and you know what? I think you couldn't be more right with that one. What was the other one, Ty? You didn't pick it, but you said you watched it. You and Justin would watch it all the time. It was like mechs fighting each other. You rented it. It was on you were watching not too long
that's
ago.
Robot Jocks.
I think so. Yeah. You said you and Justin used to rent it and watch it all the time or something.
Yeah, that's also probably pretty up there. That's going way back though. I think that might be older than this.
Damn.
If not right around the same. Robot Jacks.
Well, Adam, you got one more.
I do. You inspired me, Nathaniel. I'm gonna go with the Disney Channel pick. Now, picture this. The year is 2007. The world has just been rocked by a Disney Channel original film starring Zac Efron.
I had a feeling.
And Vanessa Hudgens, of course. Everyone's crush my age growing up, Vanessa Hudgens. We've just been blessed with High School Musical 1. But that is not my pick, ladies and gentlemen. The year I said is 2007. The year that High School Musical 2 was released, of course. The best, everyone knows, the best High School Musical film, High School Musical 2, is my final pick. So, that movie is fantastic. I don't know if you guys have seen it at all.
We had a High School Musical 2 watch party planned.
Did you?
Debut watch party, yeah, by like one of our friends from like summer camp or something like that, and we all went and watched the High School Musical debut of High School Musical 2.
They made the Disney Channel original movies a big deal.
Big honking deal.
Yeah. The world premiere is what they'd always say. And it was like, oh, I got to be there for it. I can't just not know what this movie's about. Everyone's going to talk about it at school tomorrow. And that's how it was with like all the High School Musical stuff. Features probably one of the most iconic scenes in cinema history, with Zac Efron dancing on a golf course.
Yeah, that was always one where I was like, I feel like I know that golf course. Like it's like an Arizona golf course. Like,
probably is. It probably is. But yeah, what I forgot what that song is called. Not Gonna Stop or something like that.
Yeah,
who cares?
I Can Go the Distance. No, that's Hercules.
Yeah.
They're all something like
wait,
that.
Isn't that
though.
Mulan?
Yeah.
Oh no, it is Hercules. But yeah,
that is Mulan. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Moving on.
Yeah, to defeat the
Yeah.
Huns. Yeah, so it's got to be her, Milan. Anyway, yeah, Zac Efron gives a stellar performance and gives one of the best dance numbers I've ever seen. Period. Vanessa Hudgens is back. Ashley Tisdale? That's a name you guys probably
you
haven't
go.
thought of in a hot minute. She's back. Yeah, what a great blockbuster of a film. They have a great baseball dance number where they're playing baseball and dancing. That's very vivid memory for me too. They had a deep redemption arc plot line with Ryan, Ashley Tisdale, her character's brother, where he kind of had a redemption arc in the first one, but then they just doubled down and had him have another redemption arc in the second. Basically, Corbin Blue's there. He's got cool hair, and he's good.
Corbin, I don't know, Joe Corbin.
Corbin Dallas.
Man, but what a time to be alive! High School Musical 2, fantastic film. Haven't seen that in a while, but I would rewatch it if you put it on right now. I would sit there and watch it.
Well, there you have it, folks.
There you have it.
The draft.
Who has the best list? That's for you guys to decide. I'll put all three in the episode description so you guys can see for yourselves if you forgot any of them. I have my list includes Spider-Man 3, Jack and Jill in High School Musical 3. Blake has High Tension, Leprechaun in the Hood, and The Happening. Nathaniel has League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Van Helsing, and First Kid. And Tyler, rounding out, is Waterworld, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, the original one, and Maximum Overdrive. Who has the best worst list? Send us an email. Give us a 5-star review. Tweet at us. Do whatever. Let us know. I want to win. So if you say me, I'll read it out. If you say anyone else, I probably will just ignore you, and then I'll just say it was me.
Yeah.
Sound fair?
Thanks for the honesty.
Yeah, I'm transparent. I'm communicative. All right, let's get on out of here then. 5-star review, Nathaniel?
No
Speaking of
5-star
those.
review, but if you want to give us one, folks, I will in Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I will read it out here on the show, and you can hear me say whatever you say in the review. Sound all right? All right, cool. Give us 5 stars, and it'll happen.
Fantastic. You can also support the podcast by sharing us with a friend, a family member, a transformer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't have enough enthusiasm for the film to rattle off more fun things.
Before we cut, and I only have to bring it up because we're on transfer. Did I ever tell you guys there's an infamous fight that I got into with one of my childhood best friends in 8th grade about if Transformers exist or not, and his entire
You
argument
did
was
tell us
that
about
we
this.
have no evidence that they don't exist, and
Yeah.
me and him got into fisticuffs about this at age 12.
No, I love this. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Shout out Daichi, still one of my best friends to this. But yeah.
And he's not wrong. We don't have any information to prove that they don't exist.
No,
That's
correct. His
very
argument
fair,
still stands
honestly.
to this day, which I guess is a testament to a good argument if it holds up 15, 16 years later.
Yeah. I'm honestly on your friend's side. We haven't been proven wrong.
All right, get us out of here, Adam.
Yeah. Follow us the show as well. Follow us on Twitter at Banter Row, on Instagram at Back Row Banter pod, and we're just Back Row Banter on YouTube. Go subscribe to us there, and then send us an email if you'd like to ask us any questions or anything, or let us know who won the draft. That's backrowbanterpod@gmail.com. BlakeHolder, where can the people find you at, my man?
Yo, Letterboxd. I'll be on there rating some things out of 5 stars. Not a whole lot of stars going on this week. Didn't watch too much, and I was not a big fan of Transformers: Rise of the Beast. So be on the lookout there, and that's about it. We'll go to Nathaniel.
What up, folks? You can find me on Instagram and Letterboxd at NSGangrick. You can find me you can find me on Twitter, Letterboxd at NSGangrick. You can find me on Instagram at NathanielG92. Sandpiper Tapes is my other podcast. Tyler.
Twitter, Letterboxd, and what's the other one I had? Instagram?
Yeah.
Tyler Dallas, VIDALES.
Adam.
You can find me on Twitter at H24, on Letterboxd at H, and on Twitch whenever I stream again. I don't know when that'll be. Twitch.tv/H, that's AYYSH. That'll do it here, folks, for episode 150. Thank you for joining us for this episode. Thank you for joining us on all of our previous episodes. We really do appreciate it, of course. And we do this for you guys. We hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, join us for our review of The Flash next week. We'll be RB.
Be excellent to each other, everyone, and we will be RB.
Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate anything you can do to help us grow. And we'll see you next week. Tell somebody you love them. We'll be RB.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for the support as always. We wouldn't be able to continue this podcast if it wasn't for you. So appreciate it. And we'll be RB.
America. Ready for another lesson.
All right, if everyone's ready, I request we get it
Yeah.
going.
Definitely.
I gotta
I'm good if you all are.
Get to work relatively early tomorrow.
For sure.
Right.
You're.
All right.
You think we've bantered enough pre-pod?
Maybe not.
Whatever. We'll be talking. a
I'll
bit
find
on this
something.
one. We'll be all right.
Maybe I'll put that at the pre-pod or post-pod. Have we talked enough yet? Probably not. And then it ends.
There you go. Happy 150, everyone.
Happy 150, everyone.